You are now tuned in to Hits 92.3, where we take great pride in personal expression of one's feelings, thoughts, or ideals. What you're getting ready to hear on this show are the opinions of the hosts and their guests, and they do not reflect the opinions of Hits 92.3 radio station, the brand, management, staff, their respective advertisers, parent companies, or affiliates. Now stay tuned as this show begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. L.I.C.K show on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. Look, we got two great topics today, and I have my girl Monique Curry coming in the building. We're going to take a quick break, but before we do, the topic of this hour, you ready for this, sunshine? You're in your 40s and you want a baby. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the statistics of women having babies in their 40s versus 30s versus 20s, egg fertilization, storing these eggs. We're going to talk about all of that. And then when my girl comes in, how hard is it to date somebody attractive or popular? So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. You're listening to The L.I.C.K Show with your girl, KELZ, on Hits 92.3.
Baby, come see me another day when money ain't no problem. And my Twitter account got about 5 million followers. I'm on a bumpy road, but I'm smooth and go like butter. Fly away like beauties do after their caterpillars. I'm changing, don't need a filter. Been vibing since I was a toddler. Got the juice from my father. Maybe that's why I bother to bring this light tonight and illuminate their tomorrows. Saving them from their sorrows. Hope if I lead, they follow. Cause when we need a beacon, I'ma be that shit. Little girl made it off rapping, never sold a brick or hit a lick. Appreciate the little things, alleviate the lunatics. Then maybe then I'll take your shit. Cause baby, I've been thinking about it all day. Looks so good, I'll fuck you in this hallway. Trying to run the world, but I can't concentrate. Something like that Nunu and Rashad every Sunday night. Something like that Nunu and Rashad every Sunday night. Something like that Nunu and Rashad every Sunday night. Something like that Nunu and Rashad. Babe, I'm feeling better and I'm stormy weather. Run off endeavors. Picked my ass off the pavement. Thought I'd be there forever. I always think I know better. I always know that I don't. I'm seeing God as a humor. Sometimes I feel like a joke. Grandmama laughing in heaven. Still ain't done right with my blessing. You fresh air when I'm stressing. You make me feel like I'm standing. Flying away from this planet. You pick me up when I'm landing. I can't be so damn distracted. Gotta go through with my planning. I knew that we were meant to be the night I caught your show. And now we running shit, but have so very far to go. And all I need is you and me, and that's the only thing I know. So go ahead and drop them draws just like before. Yo, cause baby, I've been thinking about it all day. Looks so good, I'll fuck you in this hallway. Trying to run the world, but I can't concentrate. Something like that Nunu and Rashad every Sunday night. Something like that Nunu and Rashad every Sunday night. Something like that Nunu and Rashad every Sunday night. Something like that Nunu and Rashad. Something like that Nunu and Rashad every Sunday night. Something like that Nunu and Rashad every Sunday night. Something like that Nunu and Rashad every Sunday night. Something like that Nunu and Rashad.
You're in your 40s and you want a baby. Sunshine got on me so bad this morning. Like, I got to tell the story of why this topic even came up. So I was looking. No, I was not blaming you, but I died laughing. That's what made me get out the bed this morning because I was just laying there, like looking at emails and all that stuff. And I sent her this video of this radio station, and I said, the next move we make, I'm buying a building. It's gonna have this, it's gonna have that, it's gonna have this, and blah blah blah, all this wonderful stuff. Her response, I thought she was gonna be like, "Yay, friend, go ahead." She was like, "Is this before or after you have? What'd you say? Is this before or after you get knocked up?"
I said, "Is this before or am I on yellow? Yeah, I'm on yellow. Okay, yeah. Is this before or after you get knocked up and have twins and move to Arizona with a 27-year-old or whatever it is that whatever it is you've been saying? Like, what is this foolishness you are talking about?"
I was like, this was not the reaction.
Arizona?
I don't know where Arizona is coming from. So, y'all, I have been for the last couple of months. Keep in mind, I don't know anybody in Arizona. I don't know, like, I don't have any business dealings. I must have had a dream about something that, and I woke up and Arizona was just embedded in my mind. It had to be because I keep thinking Arizona, but the crazy thing is, I'm getting mixed reviews about Arizona.
Arizona is not a place where you want to go.
Some people are like, "Girl, bye. It's nothing to do in Arizona." Some people are like, I moved and I would never come back. And I'm good. It's great. You'll love it. Some people like it depends on where you move to. Some people were talking about the dry heat. There was like, if you think you've had a hot summer in Atlanta, that is nothing compared. It was like, if you can take a hot summer in Vegas, then just think about it being about 5 degrees hotter in Arizona.
Have you ever been somewhere where the lights on the car melt?
No.
Okay. That's Arizona.
Yeah,
my brother
like,
lived out there for the military. Like you think your hair sweat now, baby, you would be locked up.
Oh yeah, I won't be able to have my hairstyles,
girl.
Huh?
No, you gonna either wear braids or wigs because there's no way. KELZ of all the places you said,
Arizona was the one that popped in my mind. But let me get on this topic. But yeah, that's where it came from this morning. Sunshine was just like, you've been talking about moving to Arizona. I did not say I want a baby. Let me get that out there. Now, if anybody knows me and they've been following me for a while or they know me personally, it has been years and years and years that I have wanted another child.
First of all, she didn't just want a child. She was like, she wanted twins.
I wanted twins, yes. But that's because I just wanted to, if I ever wanted more, just knock it out that one last time. And I wanted twin boys. That was my biggest thing. I wanted 2 more, not just 2 more kids. They had to be twins, and I wanted boys.
And then here I am, because you can make sure that happens.
You can. But now I'm 43. I'm in a different headspace. I don't want another child. So let me put that out there first before we start this topic. So again, if you are just tuned in, the question is, you're in your 40s and you want another child. We're going to sit here and talk about it. I made a post, and I made the post a little too late. So I posted in, shout out to Karen with Women of Douglasville. I know it's a lot of women in that group that have babies in their 40s. And when I say babies, I ain't talking about y'all 20-year-olds and y'all 30-year-olds. I'm talking about kids that are under 12 and you're in your 40s. So you might have had them in your 30s and they got a little older. My homegirl is always saying, you know how difficult it is for me to get away. Why the heck would you even want another one? So I look at those situations sometimes and I'm like, yeah, I don't want another one. But let me just read off some of this stuff. She's over here looking at me crazy. What are this is the question I asked Google. What are the chances of a woman in her 40s getting pregnant? A woman's chance in her 40s to get pregnant naturally declines significantly as the health in her early 40s are roughly about 5% chance of conceiving per menstrual cycle compared to 25% in her 20s. That is a drastic drop. So if you're already pregnant, then I'm not trying to shoot no shots and I'm not trying to make you feel no type of way. I'm just reading this off. I'm 43, so it's not like I'm trying to pick on women in their 40s. I'm in the same bracket as y'all.
Don't let ChatGPT gas your ass up. Do you know
5% is rough. That's little. There's pretty much saying there's hardly a chance of you getting pregnant.
Okay. First of all, I want you to think about this, right?
Mhm.
They're saying it's only 5% chance, right?
Yes,
But
compared to 25.
in that 5% chance, you have 18 point something million sperm trying to get to that one egg, okay?
Wait, let me get this out. I'm about to cut her mic.
No,
Hush.
okay. Crazy.
Fertility decline. Fertility naturally declines as women age, starting around 30. So that's even way before you even get to 40. So if you're in your 30s, you might want to rush and hurry and get pregnant if that is what you want to do. Because we're talking about women in their 40s trying to get pregnant. It actually starts declining way younger. It's about 10 years younger. So that's even worse. Egg quality. As women age, the quality of their eggs also decline, increasing the risk of miscarriage and genetic abnormalities. Chances of pregnancy. Hold on, I skipped. My bad. They said in 2024, women in their 40s are increasingly choosing to become pregnant. It's a trend driven by factors like evolving social expectations, increased access to assisted reproductive technologies, and women's greater control over their fertility. While pregnancy after 40 is still possible, it's important to be aware of the potential risk and seek appropriate medical care and support, of course, which you know. So they're saying you can women, and I've seen this. There's actually a page. I kind of talked on it briefly yesterday, which was another reason why I wanted to talk about it today. Yesterday, I was on this page of women not only being pregnant in their 40s, but actually having children in their 40s. And they're showing them at the beach. They're showing them traveling around the world because they've retired from work and they don't have to do all the hustling and bustling of dropping the kid off early in the morning at the daycare and then having to go work a 9 to 5 and then picking them up and then going home and cooking dinner. They're actually either retired or working from home because technology now, it's a lot of people that are able to work from home. So I think that's another reason why women are choosing to have children in their later years. Um, yeah. So let's talk about the potential risk. Of course, they said the decline in fertility, increased risk of complications. Women that are pregnant in their 40s can be associated with high risk and complicated pregnancies, such as, oh, I can't say this, preeclampsia. What is that? I don't know what that is. Okay, and while she's looking it up, diabetes, premature birth, and stillborn, as well as increased risk of certain genetic disorders. So the older you get, the higher the chance of your child having some type of genetic disorder.
Preeclampsia is high blood pressure.
Okay, high blood. So you can get high blood pressure and diabetes. God damn. Let's keep going. Financial implications. Fertility treatments can be expensive. So this is pretty much talking about, I wanted to look, so I looked up a couple of different things. So these are the percentages of pregnancies and births. The women between the ages of 40 and 44%, 40 and 44, it says it drops even more to 3.9%. So even that 4% drops the higher. Of course, naturally, it's going to drop the higher it goes. In 2023, 47% of births were between the ages of 30 and 39. So they're hitting closer to that 40 mark, where the average age of births are 27 years old and the median is the age of 30. So the average is 27, between 27 and 30. But 47% in 2023 was between damn near 30 and 40. So women are starting to have their children at later years. Um the question I want to ask on this too is, would you prefer to live your life, have all your fun in your 20s and 30s, and then have your children later? Well, like I said, women are traveling and retired and be able to be full-time mothers. Or would you rather have your children younger, do all the struggle stuff with that, and then have your fun when your kids are older? I already know what you're gonna say, Sunshine, but what you gonna say? Which would you prefer if you had it in your perfect world?
So, honestly, when I was younger and in that like first relationship, and I was
Mm-hmm.
talking about, do we want to have kids and stuff, his response to me was, no, I don't want to have kids until, I've already kind of lived my life. You know what I mean? I've
Mm-hmm.
already traveled and done the things I want to do. I don't want to have kids until I'm ready to settle down. And I thought he was kind of crazy. You know what I mean? I was like, no, you have your kids. And then I was thinking, like you were just saying, you have your kids and you take them with you and you do all this stuff and you live that life with them. And I have had my kids and I'm trying to do that. And that shit's crazy. No, I would definitely teach my child because I'm already past that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely going to teach my children, go off and live your life. There's
Okay.
nothing about children in your 20s that's cute. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
don't even get to know who you are until you're in your 30s. I've said multiple times that I did not realize my own potential until my 30s. By that time, I had already had 2 kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you don't even know who you are, how can you bring another person into this world to help them figure out who they
Who
are?
they
You
are
have to go
exactly.
live life. You have to go experience life. You have to go find out why you want to be alive. Some of
Yeah.
y'all is really living and don't even realize that you want to be like I know I have a purpose. I'm seeking a purpose and I want to leave something behind. Some of y'all
Mm-hmm.
haven't even figured that out, but yet
Right.
you got kids. And
Mm-hmm.
we're not raising kids anymore. That's why with these YNs is crashing out. We're not raising kids. We're looking at kids as an accessory, like a puppy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're not. These are people that need investment into them. And I'm not just talking about Jordans or what school they're going to. They need actual emotional investment. And y'all don't have the emotional capability of a napkin.
Right. So
And you
I
talking
can
about you own
agree.
kids.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. So I was the little girl who played with dolls. I literally, and I'm not exaggerating either. I literally still played with Barbies until I was like 11, 12 years old. I literally used to want the holiday Barbie every year. I used to collect them, and I never took them out the packaging, none of that stuff. But I was also the little girl who liked to play sports and it was a tomboy. So I was weird. I was always eclectic. I was never, ever, ever the little girl who dreamed of getting married. I was never, ever, ever the little girl who wanted children when I got older. I wanted to be a background dancer for Luke and Janet Jackson, and that was going to be my future. Even as a teenager, like, you know how you used to play the MASH game and you have to put like how many kids you want and this, that, and the third? They used to laugh at me because I used to always try to put 0, 0, 0, 0. And they'd be like, no, you can't do that. So then I'll be like -1, 0, 1, 2. I just try to do like the least amount of numbers I can actually do, because I never, ever, ever wanted kids. So I meet my husband, and I get pregnant at 19. We have him at 20. Best decision of my life. Like when I say when I was younger, I was already way more mature than my friends. And even dating somebody that was already graduated in high school because I just wasn't attracted to high school boys. Um I didn't like clubs when I turned 18. I was like I wasn't dying to go to a club, so it wasn't like I was missing out like, "Oh my gosh, I want to go." I was never a drinker, so when I turned 21, I didn't care about drinking. And I was a mom. Like if my son couldn't go, I couldn't go. If you were one of my homegirls and you hanging out, if Tavy can't come, don't invite me. That's how I was. I even took a job with the AJC throwing newspapers so that I go to work at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he used to be able to go with me. I strap him to the back, and Tori didn't like it too much. But then they had a rule where family couldn't go, so then he had to stay at home. I got a job at a daycare center for years because I wanted to be close to my son. Like when I say in my 20s I was a mom, I didn't care about like I'm losing my freedom and I can't go do this. I never had those thoughts when I was that age. Um he ended up going to daycare and they called Tori one time and they was like, "Hey, we need her to leave him here at least 4 hours so he can get used to it because He cries when she drops him off, and then by the time he calms down, she comes to pick him up. Because remember, I said I couldn't have him with the AJC, so I switched routes where I was doing during the day. And as soon as I finish my route, I'm going back to get my baby. And they was like, he's never going to get used to being here if you don't leave him here. Flip side to that is, like you said, I didn't know who I was. I didn't do a lot of stuff. So I didn't get a chance to, like, I didn't go to college and live in the college dorms, like have those stories that people talk about. I didn't do the girls trips in my 20s with my friends. I didn't travel. I didn't do all of that stuff. But I also don't regret it at 43. I never have any regrets that I had them at that age and I didn't get to do that stuff because I feel like I get the best of both worlds. At my age now, I think it helps because I look young too. I still get to go out and have my fun and do the things I want to do, and I ain't got to worry about babysitters for the kids because they're older too. And my son, if he wanted to, he can come to every single place that I host at. So if we're playing music bingo or we're doing karaoke, we're doing all that stuff, my son could be sitting right there. And sometimes he is. In a couple years, my daughter will be the same. She'll be able to do that. And I'm still vibrant enough to have my fun. But if we asked if I had my perfect world and if I can build how I want my life to be, I probably would have had my first one at like 35. I would have had my fun and stuff like that in my 20s, which again, I have zero regrets. I don't regret it whatsoever. But if I had my perfect world, I would have traveled and did all the things I want to do selfishly for myself. So that when I have my child by 35, I know where I want to take my child. Because now I'm in a financial position to where I can do more things. And now my child is well traveled too. And I've had my fun. So now if I go somewhere and I want to be well traveled, I kind of got to take my older kids because they didn't go a lot of places. So I'm not getting to experience and do the things that I want to do as an adult because now I want my child to have that experience. And I ain't going there twice. I'm not going to Paris twice. So if I'm going to Paris and I want my kids to experience it too, then we all need to go together, if that makes sense.
Okay, so everything you said makes sense, and that's cool. Like that's what KELZ is. Like I can't even say nothing about it because that's KELZ, and
Right.
that's how everything that you've done has made you the person you are today. Looking back at mine, would I change it? And I know I talk a lot of shit, and again, I know you think you're gonna know the answer, and it's not.
I'd be swearing I'm gonna know, and you shock me every time.
Right. So if I could go back and take my birth control pills back from him and be like, nah, fool, you tripping. I'm about to take these pills. I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't take them.
I would not. I still would let him take those pills from me. And I'm
Take
gonna
them
tell
from
you,
you.
yes,
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because one, if it wasn't for the children, I know me and the type of person my personality type, I'm a runner, I'm a track star. I don't think we would have lasted long enough to get to that point to
Gotcha.
be able to have the children.
Yeah.
And two, because of the children, they put me into my hustle mode. Like I already was a focused person and had, whatever, but the kids really hyper focused me because I am the type of person that's like, I don't want to live my life. I don't want you to base your life upon what I've told you to do.
Right.
I want you to see me doing it, and that fuels me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like my daughter, like I told you, she opened up my first check the other day from a speaking
Yeah.
engagement, and seeing her face, knowing that she was there, that makes me want to do more. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
And I also know that if I would have waited, I was already 28, 29. If I would have waited to 35, I wouldn't have had kids.
Gotcha.
I would
Because
have
you would have
cut.
been so. Would you feel like you would have been set in yourself and what you want to do for you, career wise, travel wise, or you just feel like that's too old to have a baby?
No, it's foresight. It's hindsight.
Okay.
Knowing where the world was at and knowing what's going on in the world and how the world was by the time I was 35, my
Mhm.
brain would have been like, there's no way I'm gonna bring another person into this
Gotcha.
world and have to deal with this shit.
And that is where I was back and forth when I was in my wanting another child. If you ask me what my reason I wouldn't want another child, it had nothing to do with my age. It had nothing to do with the complications of being able to carry the term or anything like that. My only negative to having a child was just the time that I would have had the child in. And I kept saying, like, I can't believe that people are actually having kids, like bringing kids into this messed up world. And I still kind of feel like that, but I mean, you just have to live your life.
The Department of Education is about to go away. I definitely wouldn't have kids with these people who can't even like, and it's not because of my kid, it's because of the world that my kid would live in with other kids or other people who had to go through that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we talk so much about how great the 80s and 90s were and stuff like that, but we literally have people who are spraying roach spray on their blunts to smoke them. I would not want that to be the pool of people my daughter would have to pick from as a mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, I couldn't. I'm very happy he took my pick. That was divine intervention. God knew what was up. God said these two people are supposed to be here.
Right.
And they got here when they were supposed to. Because baby, I'm telling you.
Exactly.
KELZ, we wouldn't have met.
We probably would not have met.
We wouldn't have met.
Yes.
We wouldn't have met because there were things because of him that allowed you to take favor on me. Whether you want to believe it or not, I know that's the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He led.
Huh?
He led.
Like that tea.
That tea.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So yeah, no, I wouldn't change. And I know everybody's like, nah, Sunshine would be like, fuck them kids. Nope, I wouldn't change it. I really wouldn't. It happened the way it was supposed to.
I mean, and that's literally how it is. Like I am a true believer that your life is already designed. We're just trying to catch up, and if it doesn't go the way it is, we've intervened where it was supposed to go. So now I'm in a space where I'm kind of living freely. Like what happens, and I'm not steering in any direction. The car is just going. And if I feel like it's going off a cliff, then I step in because you got to do the work. Yeah.
Triggered.
Faith without works is dead. That's when I step in and do the works. After that, I'm just rolling. But let me tell you, to the people that are in their 20s and they're listening to us like, dang, I don't know, maybe I need to travel and do my own thing. There is a such thing as freezing your eggs. So if you do not want a child now and you're in your 20s and early 30s, that is a good thing to do if you can afford it. So they said the best time to freeze your eggs for the highest chance of success is typically in your late 20s and early 30s, as egg quality and quantity is generally at its peak during that time. So they're saying, because I looked this up too, I got curious. Price. I was like, how much is it to freeze your eggs? Egg freezing can cost anywhere between 10 to 15 grand per cycle, not including medication, not including storage fees, which can be added another 3,000 to 5,000 per cycle, and $500 to $1,000 annually. So it's pretty costly. It's not cheap. But if you are in a position where you can and you want to travel and you want to live your life and you want to go to college, you want to do this and you want to do that, and you're thinking like me, like I think 35 is a good age to start having children, you've got those young eggs that you can get implanted inside of you, and you won't have the dysformities or the, what was it called? The diabetes and the high blood pressure. No, because you've got your younger eggs planted in you.
No, you still got that old ass body.
You still got, but the egg, that's why you're freezing your eggs.
No, you freezing the eggs.
Your body, yes, you're going to feel a certain way, but your eggs are still from your 20s and your 30s.
Right,
but it's not your old 40 eggs. But it's not the same.
But that preeclampsia is coming from your heart
from
now.
Your body, yeah. But I'm saying like the health of your egg is not in your 40s trying to get pregnant.
Because I'm telling you something
freezing
right
them
now.
At 20s and 30s.
Sciatica in your 20s and sciatica in your 30s and 40s is too different. Your body ain't that same kind of limber, baby. I'm telling you right now, when that hip click on you that first time in the middle of baby. No.
So look, then I wanted to know, well, if they're talking about freezing eggs and per cycle and all that stuff, my next question was, how many eggs do they take to freeze? They only take between 4 and 12 per cycle. So if you got between 4 and 12, and that is when she said like you can control having twins, get 2 implanted. But think about it. You got to hope that your body still is in the health position to carry the egg that you had frozen. because I have a friend that actually has she had her eggs frozen, and she has a healthy, beautiful baby boy right now. She tried prior to, and I was like, girl, gonna get knockout twins because she's in her 40s, and she lost them. So it can happen. I would take that chance. If I only get 4 to 12, I'm gonna go ahead and try to knock out 2, and then if that doesn't work, I'm gonna take the other 2 and do it again for both of them to try to take. So yeah, having children in your 40s is not easy. It is high risk. It is a not an opportunity. That's not the word I'm looking for. It is a chance that you can have a miscarriage or stillborn, not make it to term. So those are the risks that it takes: high blood pressure, diabetes, disformities.
You know who you should talk to? Peachy. Peachy, one of her kids was a twin.
Okay.
But the twin didn't survive, and she had to decide whether or not to abort and remove it or carry the twin, the stillborn twin.
Oh wow, to term.
And push. And yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So I always have topics that's going to always go over into another topic, but it's A-okay. We're going to take a quick break because I think my girl Monique Curry is in the building, and we have our topics that we are going to talk about. And that second one is it hard to date somebody popular or attractive? All right, so we'll be right back. L.I.C.K Show.
Same feeling of working until the cord was hot. All my dreams born under the same 40 watt. A decade on, still publicizing my therapy. Just beneath the surface, though a lot's been made clear to me. Don't count the numbers, I'm counting waves on the shoreline. Add it up, I'm from where it's 54 4 times. No sympathy style, this shit hereditary. Search my government, just know I'm the secondary. Torchbearer, band leader, life liver, mad addict, self-server, spice in her. Light balance with the dark, a day's work. Stuck in OT, understanding my name's worth. Born in this, never no substitution. Leave the dust on the records I sample because it's human. And until I return, a couple hundred funded for the tree burn. Blessed this green earth, I'm on a slow climb, still finding my footing. 9 to 5, pay the mortgage, so I reinvest the booking. Everything's for sale right now if you wanna test me. I'll throw this beat in if you could treat it better than me. Name on the big screen, the price went with it. My ego somewhere in between composure and y'all tripping. Building a plane while I fly at my son's eyes, inspire it. I can never retire. This from the east side, now we beachside out west. This a B-side and sounds better than y'all's best. Yeah, face the music though it's sad but true. I'm on an island digging through crates like Crash Bandicoot. Seattle cat back like Griffey. Me and H on siren time, you know the watch face digi. Stay on translate for the fans, man. We been busy. Otani out in Japan, so many spins we got. So many spins we got dizzy. So many spins we got dizzy. Otani out in Japan, so many spins we got dizzy.
We got dizzy. New EPK and we going for Billy. So many spins we got dizzy.
So many spins we got.
So many spins we got dizzy. With 29 rotations, dog, I pray to see 50. Pray to see the time that parades orbit the city. Pray on beats and stages, pave a way for others here to see amazement. Man, I juggle this shit gracefully. Acting like it's easy, then some thinking they can play like me. Thinking they can swing like bombs with average of a 33. Heard you see I work from 12 to 12, and they treat this like a hobby with no urgency. Yeah, and I got it from rap, with confidence like a jersey in the city attached. Me and Dave going coastal, time zone switch up, still on siren time. Anytime that they miss us, this goated boy shining. I would say grinding, but that's minor to assignments. Minor forms of rocking, less than greatness ain't an option. Every day I'm selling H and people buy consignments. The finest pure and I got it all from rhyming. I'm Hall of Fame now when I still ain't hit my climates. My reign in the climate, slick terrain to the top, but yet I'm still climbing. Story less than polished acrylic dreams on my eyelids. People ask how I'm wise beyond my years. I just see smiles in a world full of tears. Couple cheers for from the parking lot. Crowd full of cheers, so I don't hear what they talking about. Yeah, a couple beers and got dizzy. I'm not Steph, I just show the world how to shimmy. Grand on the Great Lakes, whether Superior or Erie. I need that dope boy, oh really? Oh really? Yeah, so many spins we got dizzy. New L.I.C.K, yeah, we going 4 billion. Yeah, so many spins we got dizzy.
On the Lick Show, Hits 92.3. And the question is it hard to date somebody popular or attractive? Now, we could already say it can be hard. That's like I guess it's like a universal answer. It can be hard if you're like a insecure person or the person on the opposite end doesn't have boundaries and is disrespectful. So it can be hard depending on who it is, I would say. Before we get into the topic, though, we got my girl Monique Curry in the building. Hey, Monique. Hey, girl. Hey. So tell the people about you, and if you have anything coming up, let them know now, because I always forget to ask.
So I'm a professional vocalist and a music entrepreneur based out of Douglasville. I do have a couple of events coming up. I would love for you all to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at I am Monique Curry, so you can keep up with any upcoming events that I have going on. You couldn't hear me, Sunshine, girl. I'm over here whispering. I'm sorry. So let me say that again. This thing is on, girl. It's the appeal, sis.
Stupid.
So yes, once again, let me say that again so you all can hear me. I am Monique Curry, and I'm a professional vocalist and music entrepreneur based out of Douglasville, Georgia. Please follow me on Instagram and TikTok at I am Monique Curry to stay up to date on my upcoming events. Thank you. Love you.
That sounds like a whole commercial. That girl professional. All right, so the question, I'm going to leave it to you to answer first. Do you think it's hard, not you being the person, you're dating somebody, because we're going to flip it both ways, but first we're going to talk about you dating somebody that is popular or attractive. How do you feel about that? They might be a celebrity or they're just a really handsome guy, or both.
If I'm dating somebody popular or attractive,
Mm-hmm.
I'm already coming in knowing that it's going to come with certain things and certain attention, but it's basically the person's character. Like, what do you want? What do you desire? If I know that you are open to other things and seeking other things, just talk to me. My whole thing is just don't be going out here tiptoeing because you need the attention. For me, I don't mind you having the attention. I'm trying to figure out how we can work together to make it work for the both of us, for the entire unit. So it doesn't bother me. I prefer you be attractive. Shoot, I don't want nobody that nobody else don't want. I'm just trying to.
I say this all the time. I know I'm laughing because I be like, if nobody else is attracted to him, then I feel like, oh, what are we doing?
Right. If nobody else wants you, then what?
And some people, and I say, I have dated guys that they're not like physically attractive. Like you see them across the room and you're like, oh my gosh, he's so handsome. It might be a personality that would make somebody attractive.
Exactly.
So if you're not even attracted to that person's personality, I'd be like,
we're going to be hard pressed. I'm going to be like, so what we doing next? So we're not going on the next date. So you want to take me out? We going to eat, but that's all we going to do. I don't know what else to tell you. You're starting to enjoy my company more at that point.
So if he's a very popular guy, everybody knows him. Every time y'all go somewhere, they're like, hey, Chad. They stopping him every time y'all turn around. How you feel?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that type of popularity. Like, y'all can't go nowhere without everybody not everybody. It's at least one person is going to know this man wherever you go. Even if you be like, you know what? We ain't going to hang out in the city. We're going to go hang out on the other side of town. And you're like, oh my gosh, Chad, how you been?
So because I have my own energy that I think is awesome in my own motion, I'm gonna be in the room like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be over there like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm with him, we together. It's everything. I don't feel insecure when it comes to that, because if you know who you are and you know what you're standing on, just promote the person. You know, I'm big on promoting and supporting, and
Yeah.
I'm not in competition with my man. They typically end up being in competition with me,
child,
and
that is a
becomes the
topic.
problem. And then we have to part ways because they can't stand me.
That is a topic.
Yeah.
So if you are on
Excuse
either
me,
one of
quick
our
question.
lives and you want to join the conversation, you can give us a call at 404-254-4347. Again, that telephone number is 404-254-4347. And you can go onto YouTube at Hits 92.3, look up The Lick Show, and you can see us in studio. I absolutely agree with that, to the point of I do have my own motion. I do feel like I am a popular person and I am attractive person. I don't know how I feel about dating somebody that's extremely popular and extremely attractive, because I'm a territorial type of person.
Okay.
So if we're out, I don't mind people speaking to you, but if it's women gonna always come up to you and hugging on you and like, oh my gosh, and want to hold conversations, that's gonna annoy the hell out of me. I'm just being honest. It's gonna annoy the heck out of me. Now, if you know how to like brush it off, like I'm kind of with my lady, you know, we got our own thing going, this and the third. And if he has boundaries, that's one thing too. If he's popular and it's has to do with his work and his job, let's say he is a celebrity, and it's better for him to come off as he's single, I couldn't do that either. You can say you're in a relationship without having to plaster me all over the place, but I do need you to tell these chicks that you're in a relationship with me. So I don't know if I could date somebody that's like a celebrity to a point where their brand and their money has to come before me. Cause yeah, it can't come before me. I'm just one of those chicks, and I'm not speaking for any other female. And I'm not gonna say that I would sabotage or walk away, but I need you to figure out some kind of way that's gonna make sure you're showing that you're single for your brand, isn't you doing things behind the scenes because everybody thinks you're single. So that's where I come off with it.
How do you navigate that when a person has to appear single when they're in a relationship?
Because my thing, it depends on where we are. If we're kicking it, that's one thing. Like if we're gonna go as far as to get married, are you still having to say you're single for your brand? Are you like forever the bachelor because that is what your brand shows? Or at some point you could be like, yeah, I'm married. Okay, so I think Denzel Washington, I think LL Cool J did an amazing job with their careers. They were always the ladies' man, but they've always had their wife, and you never see them like plastering their wife all over the place. Ice Cube. Ice Cube been married over 20, 30 years. They've always had their wife, but she don't have to be in every room, in every conversation. But you know that man is married.
Right.
Regardless of what he decides to do outside of the cameras because he's a celebrity, that's one thing. But I like the fact that they make it known. I love my wife.
Right.
Yeah. I'm staying with my wife. Will Smith. Everybody hates this man's wife. And he gonna tell you to the day he die, that is my woman. That's my person. Y'all can hate her, but y'all don't sleep with her. I do. So I would need that. I would need somebody that you could be the ladies' man, but you still gonna be like my wife, my wife, my wife, or my girl, my girl, my girl. You got to be that for me. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm single. That wouldn't work for me.
Need that, and that's okay to communicate that. I'm trying to find the best way to put this. If I have a man that's like that, and he desires to be more discreet about our relationship, I'm just going to expect the same in return. And when you return the same energy, it then becomes a problem, what I've noticed. And I'm listening. I'm only speaking from experience, because then when I want to keep it on the wraps and be like, hey, let's just chill out with all the public whatevers.
Yeah.
Then it's like, well, why don't you want to? So my thing is, if you need it for yourself, then let me have that for me.
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
If you have to act like you're single and you're doing your thing, then I'm gonna have to do the same.
Yeah.
Sunshine she was like dying to get this one. What you got?
So
to say,
it was something that you said, and you were like, you tend to find that eventually they are jealous of you, right?
Yeah.
How do you know? Like what happens in these situations, because they don't start out jealous of you as it might start out, is they're attracted to it in some way, right? They start out being, enamored by it, and almost like a moth to a flame. They're that's what, yes, that's what, right? So how and when, or how do you notice that it changed? What are those
I got a list.
Well,
of
let me
things.
say, I noticed that it changed in this situation a little bit too late, but we both were involved in music, and so I was helping him build his brand, the pages, all the things I'm doing for myself. I was doing for him. So I'm posting, hey, we're doing this, he's doing this, doing that. And it came to a situation in my life, and he was starting to parade around. Yeah, she's helping me do this. She's helping me do that. It was the wrong timing. So my family was looking like, girl, this is not even the time for him to be promoting himself and stuff he's doing. So I'm like, that seemed a little bit suspicious. And we went to, I don't know if y'all know of Cat's Cafe, and we both sang a song on open mic, and he bombed his, and I did stellar on mine. And just the look on his face was like, and I'm like, like it was just the look of like, I can't believe you did that. I did what? I used the gift God gave me. Like, it was just that thing. And sometimes it's like they start nitpicking things you're doing and what you're wearing and what you said. But I'm like, when you met me, I was dressing this way. I had this, you know what I'm saying? I had this style. I didn't switch up. You switched up because now you feel uncomfortable. I'm getting more attention. And I'm just going to say this, somewhere deep down inside, there's an insecurity, a fear of losing this person. And so then that's when the jealousy comes in. I'm a fear losing you because maybe I may not be where you are, or I don't feel like I can, for lack of better words, cut the mustard. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't expecting him to be anything other than who he was. But you have to watch out for those signs when the things that they liked about you, they now start to dislike, start to pick apart, start to hate about you. And you're like, and bruh, it's time to go.
But you know how you can instantly figure out some of these people?
Help. Yes, please help.
When they lust after you.
Oof.
Instead of like show a genuine interest in you, when they're like big on everything that you're doing, or certain aspects of you that are like larger than life. When it becomes larger than life and you're actually doing the things that they love that you do to a different scale that doesn't include only them, then you already know that's going to be a person that's not going to be supportive of what you're doing. Because that's a major thing to me. When you start to learn a person is in competition with you, first thing that goes is support. That's the first thing is out the window. They don't really support you as much. They make excuses of things they got to do or places they have to be just to not be in whatever it is you have going on. That's number one. The second thing is, for me in my particular situation that it happened with, is when something great happened for me, he had to make sure something great was happening for him instead of celebrating my great thing. We weren't necessarily in the same realm, but something that I was weak in, he was strong in. And if we would have put those together, then my business would have been through the roof. Like graphics and prints and all this and marketing and advertising. He did all of that for his business and wouldn't do it for mine. So I was like, oh, we're literally in competition. When they don't help you with what you have going on and they have the knowledge or the capability to do it and they just won't do it, they're in competition with you. Yep. So those are just a couple of things. I can name a billion more, but it'd be like so specific to my personal situation. But yeah,
I have another question that I want to ask, but I'm afraid that the question is going to be too specific. So I'll ask off air.
Okay.
Too specific for her or me? Or both? I don't mind answering specific questions. Girl.
You know I don't.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So if you're just tuned in and you want to see the studio in whole, you can go on to YouTube at Hits 92.3. Find the L.I.C.K Show. Click on that on the live, and you'll see us in studio with Monique Curry. And we are talking about, is it hard to date somebody that is attractive or popular? Now, if somebody's attractive, let me clarify what I was saying. If somebody's extremely attractive, then they're just extremely attractive. I can't help that people want to look at them and speak to them and all that. I'm just talking about the actions of somebody that's popular and the boundaries that they set in place for that. I think when I started in the industry back in 2015, I started out as a model, and my husband was my manager. Nobody knew he was my husband. He was only my manager. And when we would be on set, men would be saying the craziest things to him. And he couldn't say anything about it because he's not my husband, he's my manager. But when we get home, I got to hear about it. And so I was like, why don't we just tell people that you're my husband? He's like, no, it's going to mess up the brand. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do that. I didn't have to work. I was like making money off of this. It worked for business, right? It literally worked. So we couldn't say anything. But the more he came home and he wasn't even complaining. I won't say that he was complaining, but he was just being human. Like, he had to hear this stuff all the time. So he's just like, oh, it's so agitating when I hear blah, blah, blah. But he's like, it's good. You know, it's all good, blah, blah, blah. He like push it off.
Right.
One day I just decided, like, do I want him to keep feeling this way, or do I? So I went online without him knowing. I went against my own manager and made a post, and I was like, he's my man, and I put a dash, a jur, and I was like, this is my husband, blah, 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 blah. And so to both of our surprise, because I didn't care at that point, I was like, I want my husband to feel comfortable. If I got to find another profession, then I'll do that. We got female followers, so they're like, oh my gosh. Then it became relationship goals, so it worked in our favor. But I was just one of those people that I don't want my man to feel uncomfortable for the choice that and he wasn't even the one to tell me to do that. He never said I should quit. He never said I should act a certain way around a certain person or around certain people, because he understood business.
That was a choice you made.
It was a choice I made for me. And then maybe I'm thinking, if the shoe was on the other foot, how would I want somebody to handle that? Maybe that was part of it too. I don't know. But that's just what I did, being the popular person. So let's flip it. Do you think it's hard to date you as an attractive, popular woman?
I'm gonna be like, I gotta answer this on air.
Yep.
Being completely honest, I find that it's a challenge for men. I do.
Okay.
I find that the attention, the attraction from other males becomes a problem over time, because it starts to become, I don't understand where the insecurity comes from, but it just starts to become an issue, and it starts being a topic of discussion. Well, this person's doing this to you, and this person looked at you like this, and this person touched you this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and I'm like, do you understand who you are dating? Do you understand the realm and the space that I'm in? So if you understand that and you're on board, and I've asked you about it, because I talk a lot. So I'm going to talk to you about, hey, this is what it is. And I've been through this before. You need to decide, am I okay with men viewing her this way, with her presenting herself this way? I'm an artist. I may do a little move on the stage that may be a little, salacious. Can you handle it? Can you deal with that? And again, if you want the woman, you know what I'm saying, and you want to say you don't want no woman that don't nobody else want, then how are you going to handle the woman that the people want?
Okay. So one thing you said is, somebody might say something about, somebody said this to you, or somebody touched you this way. I was like, touch? What you mean?
Like, like a wrap her arm around or something, in public. You know how people will hug you or do stuff in public places, and it may be intentional, it may be unintentional. In that moment, I'm probably going to handle that like aside somewhere, because like right now I'm thinking about my image. I'm not finna just act the whole complete and spaz out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what do you want me to do in that moment? Like, we can talk to them after. I can call them. We can communicate. Let's have our people call their people. But I'm not gonna sit there and do a whole jujitsu kick and a karate chop right there. Like, it's craziness and it's madness, and it's just like, because the person is in their feelings, then you need to be doing something right then.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna let you play with my panty line, but I'm saying
I just learned myself that there's an appropriate and an inappropriate way to hug. So when I'm out at my events now, and I'm like, oh, I said,
Don't
and I'll
laugh
make
at
a
me.
joke. Look, I'll literally make a joke about it, because I'm gonna go like this, and so I'll be like, oh, no. I say, wait, let's start over, because I've already hugged them, right? And I'll be like, wait a minute, I got to start over, because I'm learning how to hug somebody I'm not in a relationship with. And they're like, what? And so they're like, oh, the church hug. Everybody knows about this church hug. So that's a joke that I make now, where I'm trying to separate certain things that I'm doing. I'm not even in a relationship, but I'm trying to watch how I interact with the opposite sex, specifically because of this hug thing. So then I noticed I got on live for like 2 seconds the other day. And as soon as I did, a guy came and started like doing all like this on me. And I'm like, now if I was dealing with somebody, that would be an issue. And now I got to try to explain like this is just a customer. He was just playing. He saw me being on live and he was trying to be funny because he was trying to interrupt my live. So he didn't do it like he was trying to be sexy. He was doing it to be funny. And I'm like, how would somebody feel if I was in a relationship, but I didn't tell the world I'm in a relationship yet? And I got to figure these things out.
So I think I'm the perfect medium of what y'all are talking about, right? Okay, so first, I get what you're feeling, but I don't.
She's
in a
talking
way.
about Monique.
Yeah, Monique. and the reason why is because I wasn't already popular when I got in my relationship.
Okay.
So when you're saying like you already knew who I was and stuff like that, okay, this is KELZ's fault. Why are you laughing?
Just blame me. It's okay.
This is KELZ's fault. Bitch, she'll tell you. She kept asking me for 2 years, go out with me, come out with me, hang out with me, hang out with me. And then I started hanging out with her. And then I started hanging out with other people. And then I started hanging out alone. And then the hood unicorn becomes whatever. You know what I mean? And just I have no problem being honest about who I am and whatever. I have been told I like Cherie. I don't like the hood unicorn. I don't like Sunshine Reigns. I don't like the caricature that he feels as though that is. And if we're out and about and people come up to me, you know what I mean? It's definitely a like, everybody know you. And there's nothing I can't stop a person from coming up to me and wanting to speak, or for somebody being like, oh, I know you that girl with that show, or I remember you was at what you call it. You know what I mean? I can't, like you said, what do you want me to do? Karate chop them in the throat? I just can't do that. You know what I mean? But I also can't turn off my personality, which is just a very nice, inviting, friendly person anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, there's that. And it was something else you said, KELZ, and I just forgot it, so I'm gonna leave it alone. But hey, Ashley Nicole, she's watching, and I just want to say hi to her. But yes, so
I can understand that too, because some people know how to take quick and like excessive attention that they never had before, and some people don't know how to handle quick and excessive attention that they get before. And if you've never had it, you don't know what to do until you get used to it.
Okay,
and I
so
think that's where you're coming from.
Yeah, so okay, I remember the second part now because it was about you and the guy in the dancing and stuff like that, right? Okay, so the other part of it is, even though I am with somebody, the way I've conducted myself and the way that I always interact with people is always a I'm married type of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even down to the way I dress. That's why you guys are making fun of me now, because you're like, Sunshine, you're not dressing like you used to dress. And it's because my mindset has always been, you're not supposed to see this. I can cover this up because when I get home, the person who's supposed to see it, right?
Yes.
But I've also learned for this industry, that does not matter. I am only going to get but so far wearing hoodies and sweats and sneakers and everything like that. And no matter how hard I've tried to circumvent that, there's only so many places that are going to book me because of the appearance that I have.
And it's unfortunate, but yeah.
And I've taken the criticism and I've actually applied it, right? But then when I go home and it's like, well, hey, wait a minute. What happened to the hoodies and the sweatshirts and that person, right? And it's looked upon a little bit differently. So again, KELZ has the most triggering.
I'm gonna change the name of my show to the Trigger Show. The Trigger Hour.
Because
But I would say too, and I'm just big on this, like, if I would prefer to show the world my hoodies and dress up for my man. So if I'm dressing up outside, then I'm gonna try to implement the same inside, depending on what it is that he likes. If he is a hoodie type of guy, then yeah, I wear hoodies in the house. But if he didn't like me wearing the hoodies in the house, I'm definitely not gonna wear the hoodies in the house. And if I got 3 great outfits, I'm saving the best one for him. If he's taking me out, if he ain't taking me nowhere, then I ain't saving crap. So
That part.
if you ain't taking me nowhere, sir, then don't expect me to get all dressed up. Now, speaking of that, somebody said that to me before because I was working at when I work, I still dress cute, but I don't dress as if I'm going when me and Mimi hang out, we're going to like listen to live music or we're going to do something outside of what I do when I'm working.
Mimi, I
When
want to
I'm
be your friend.
working, when I'm working, I like to be comfortable cute. But when I'm going out, I'm wearing shoes that are probably going to last from the car till I go sit down and then my feet are going to hurt. I wouldn't dare wear those type of shoes while I'm hosting. So somebody was like, "Oh, I'd never like every time I'm like out, they're like, "Dang, you dress up more when you go out." I say, "Yeah, cuz I'm off. If you want to see that, take me out." I literally said that. He was like, "You know what? You absolutely right. Cuz you see me while I'm working, but if you want to see me in a different light, like how I'm like extra dressed up in heels and I might try to put on some lips cuz I don't even do lipstick while I'm working either. But if I'm trying to go out and like I don't know, we're going to a nice restaurant or we're going, like I said, I love live. I love listening to live music. If we're going to listen to some live music, then I'm going out like as if I'm on a date. And if you're not taking me, then you're just not going to see that.
Yeah, if you're taking me out on a date, I'm gonna dress up as a date. But if you're treating me like a mom, I'm going to
I'm
dress
gonna
like
dress
a
up as
mom.
a
I was about to
mom.
say that. I was like, I have a little bit of a range, but it's either soccer mom and the leggings. And even with the leggings, it's like, oh my gosh. I had one guy like, can you not go out to the grocery store with those leggings on? Because I feel like they be looking at you and I feel like I'm gonna have to do something to something. Listen, I had all this when you met me. What do you want me to do?
That
like
part.
dress in a muumuu to go to the store, and then if I put on a
Girl,
muumuu
that
and a
muumuu.
bonnet, then it's gonna be like, oh, look, she next top ratchet, baby. I got this stuff for a reason. I came down from my grandmama, my mama. Now either you gonna like it or you ain't.
You
Baby,
like it
Okay,
or
I'm
you
finna be
ain't.
in these leggings right
that
here. with
muumuu
these
will get
tennis
your
shoes.
that muumuu will get your cart
Get you
paid
right.
for. Don't
Your
play.
cart
I'll wear the
for.
muumuu at
Don't
the
play.
house. And even at the house, I'll wear the sweatshirts. I'll wear all that. I have my homegirl attire. I don't have a huge range, and I have my going out. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna step out, and I'm finna wear my dresses. You know what I'm saying? Somebody call them the stockings, whatever you want to call them, body stockings, whatever you feel about it. That's what I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna put my heels on. I'm gonna do all of that.
Yes.
And whether you're taking me out or not, and that's the thing for me, whether you're taking me out or not, I'm gonna take me out. When I walk out, I'm walking out for me. I'm not walking out for you. Now you happen to receive the benefits of how I look, but I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this for you.
Okay, being
Somebody
friends
said,
with
I think
KELZ.
you should dress for yourself. Absolutely. You
Being
definitely should dress for yourself.
I was just about to say that being friends with KELZ, she's definitely changed my mindset. I've always been the type of person where I'll go take myself out on a date or whatever, but I would take myself out on a date and I still would have on mom clothes. Now, when I go take myself out on a date, I have on sunshine clothes, like I put that thing on. And that's really being friends with her and just being like, it's cool. Like, put that thing on. So, always appreciative,
People
KELZ.
receive you differently. I have noticed over years in times where I wasn't dressing up as much. People receive you differently when you put some oomph on it just for yourself. Even if you they engage with you differently. I don't know what it is, and maybe it shouldn't be a matter of judgment or however, but when you put yourself together, and I don't mean you got to have Balenciaga and all these other things. When you put yourself together for you and you're confident in you, people receive you different. And I feel like you receive people differently. It's a whole different exchange.
It really is. And I noticed too, even with different hairstyles, it's funny. So everybody knows I changed my hair. They was like, I don't know who I'm getting from week to week. Every single hairstyle I have brings out a different type of guy. The afro, I assumed when I wear the afro, it would bring out more. I call them woke
Hemotep.
guys.
I call them hemotep.
You know what they bring out? White men.
Really?
White men flock to me
Listen,
like crazy
okay.
when I have that afro, and I'm like,
Say it.
this is a fantasy for him.
I was thinking Jungle
This
Fever.
is a fantasy for him. But I bring out white men and older men. And I get the older men because they think of Cleopatra, they think that kind of thing comes to their mind. The old men, they flock, girl. Um
So
this
true.
hairstyle has brought out like business type guy. Like I'm telling you, every hairstyle I have brings out a different type of guy in my DM. I kid you not. It's like every time I change it up, it's always something different. When I have my long red braids, it brings out the young guys that think I'm like 20, 22. So I'm like, I noticed that like over time, every time I change my hair, I get different attention from different people. And I'm like, this is funny.
Yeah, that natural hair thing with white men is a thing. I'm like,
It's
I mean,
literally
it's like,
a
oh my
thing.
gosh,
The
they look
locks
at you
too.
like,
Same
yeah,
thing.
girl.
They
I
love the
was
locks
like,
too.
I'm ignorant.
wow.
I'm ignorant. Let me tell you why I'm so ignorant. Because every time an older white man tells me, "Oh my God, I love your hair," my response is never "thank you." My response is always, "But you wouldn't hire me like this, though."
Oh,
That is
Say,
always
look.
my response. "But you wouldn't hire me like this, though. You would tell me I would have to change my hair to work it with you. So don't tell me my hair is cute. Leave me alone."
They're so funny. You
Like,
just,
I'm ignorant. I'm sorry.
and if I was standing next to you, I'd be like, I don't even look at that man.
Lord
Come
have
on, Sunshine,
mercy,
get your
help
ass
him.
over here. Let's go. Get your ass in this car.
Sunshine, you just can't say thank
You
you and
just-
smile. Be pleasant. What they say, put on your Becky.
Thank you. You wouldn't hire me like
Oh
this,
my
though.
gosh, crazy!
But I mean, I'm able to
crazy.
say it in a way where it's like, don't play.
You're right.
Your Bonquisha come out instead of your Becky girl. Trying to put on your
I'm telling
Becky.
you,
She's
though.
like, I don't need you to hire me.
Hey,
so
I am
if you like it, you like
Babs.
it. You don't, you don't. It's
Babs
all
with
good.
Black Mirror. Look,
Oh my gosh. Yes, okay. So if you're just tuned in, we are talking about, is it hard to date somebody popular or extremely attractive? So flip it. I don't think I answered that. I think I would be a hard person to date because of my personality. I'm naturally a nice person. I'm passive aggressive. So if somebody was to do or say something, I'm not going to be like, get out my face. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing all that. I'm probably just going to like laugh it off.
Yeah.
If somebody comes at me and they're interested in me, I would say certain things that'll let them know I don't want you, but I'm
Right.
never going to say I'm not attracted to you.
Right.
So I'm passive aggressive where I could be hard to date in that aspect. We have someone that has called in. You're listening to the Lick Show. Who are we speaking to?
Hey girls, it's Ashley Nicole.
Hey Ashley, what you got to say, girl?
So, the dating somebody that's popular, that's a hard one because I've dated a few popular people, and at first it used to be really, really hard, and it used to be kind of intimidating. But now the older I get, it's like it's fun. It's like, okay, we go somewhere and they, like they know the person that I'm dating, and then like even myself. Like with me being a business owner here in the city, like people, I'll be out at the mall and people used to call me by my Instagram name. They'd be like, "Hey, hair rehab," and I'm like, "Who y'all talking to?"
I literally
So
used to
it
call
just
you
really
hair
depends.
rehab.
Girl, you said what?
I said I literally used to call you hair rehab.
But I'm serious. Like guys used to walk up to me in Lennox and they would be like, "Hey, hair rehab," and I'm like, this is weird. But I mean, it really
That's not
depends. You have to have strong skin to date somebody of any sex that
Yeah.
is popular.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely.
She said you have to look.
But
Be strong.
I just wanted to call in and check in with y'all because I'm watching the show here through what am I on Instagram? But yeah.
Hey.
So hi ladies.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, girl, hey.
So that is my girl Ashley Nicole. She's here on Wednesdays where we have Wine and Women Wednesdays, and we be drinking wine and talking about men. So yeah, make sure y'all tune in on Wednesdays as well, and she'll be in the studio. So she pretty much was saying when she was younger, it was hard to date somebody that was popular, but the older she gets, it's fun because it's almost like, yeah, he mine. Y'all see him. I can see that part of it too. That might be fun. But again, it also goes back to if that man knows how to set boundaries.
Yeah.
If he's just wild child out there doing his thing, then that's a little different. But if he's got boundaries and he's grown and mature and he's used to getting the attention, then I could see that being fun.
That still boggles my mind. Like if you're popular, you And I guess because of the rapport we have, I'm like this with males and females. You know, I'm like this. I'm like, oh, baby, let's do it. What we doing? They like you. That's everything. How can we keep it up? Like, girl, keep on. So you can keep the coins rolling in. You know, my
Right.
brain be somewhere else. I know what you look like when I walk out with you. I know what you dress like. I know your personality. And I realize people are going to be attracted.
Yes.
How you navigate that, or even for me, how I navigate that is going to be the determining factor. If you don't like something, I didn't like something, let's go home. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out how we can navigate that as we're dating. But like, come on now. Like, for me, I'm just like, go boy, go. If they like it, I love it, baby. What they doing? Oh, they gonna comp our what? Oh, they gonna send us over some drinks? I'm here
That
for
part.
it. I'd be like, come on.
That's a good.
Run it up.
I love that you just said that. Y'all are sitting at the bar, and a woman, she's with a group of girls. It's probably a birthday party. 9 times out of 10, they're probably drunk. And she sends a drink, maybe to just him, or she sends a drink to y'all. No, let me be messy. She sends it only to him.
Okay.
How do you react?
Me?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm going like, who sent the drink? Oh, she did. I'm gonna ask me, you want to take a sip first? Because then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna drink it, and then I'm just gonna sit there and smile and be like, "Hey, girl, hey."
I'm gonna wave.
Right. That's my personality. I'm not gonna even get mad with him. Like, sis, I see why you did it, but I'm gonna drink it. Won't he do it? You'll think twice about sending him only the drink. Now, if you send both of us a drink, I'm be like, girl, you cute, but I don't do. I like men. Thank you, but appreciate you. I've had women send me drink. A woman sit down and like, you are so beautiful. And I love your lipstick. Can I buy you a drink? Sure. And that's all it's gonna be is just a drink. We cool.
Right.
But if you just send my man a drink, what am I finna do? Sit here and get all hostile? Girl,
Right.
pass me
I'm
that
gonna
drink. Do it
wave.
taste good? Do I even like it? You can have it. She brought this drink. I'm like, she should have bought me one. She didn't even ask what I like. I'm that type of person. I'm not gonna take that serious. Like, whatever. It's a drink. And we ain't have to pay for it.
In that instance, I'm literally going to be the most unproblematic person, and I'm not going to care. This girl, so I dated a DJ, damn near engaged to him, right? And he told me, of course, I knew him for, like, I've known him for years, and he gets a lot of attention. He's very attractive. So I get it. Oh my gosh. With him, I love the attention that he gets. Love it, love it, love it. So it was an ex that used to come to every single show that he had, and he was telling me that she was cool with his mom. She won't go away. She's just there. And all of his friends was like, "Oh, you talking about crazy, blah blah blah." So everybody knows she's like this, right? So I come out, and he's like, like, this is her, pointing to her. I'm like, okay, cool. So he's DJing. She stands in front of the DJ booth with her back towards him. So she's facing out to the audience and she's just dancing. She's a full figure female, so she's not like skinny little like me. She's just dancing, dancing, dancing. He's texting me like, "Oh gosh." He was like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "About what?" Like, you're a DJ, you're playing music. She's dancing. Cool. He was like, "I have nothing to do with this. What do you want me to do?" Nothing. I said, just ignore it. I said, don't even look at her. I don't know if you used to look at her. I said, this time, don't even look at her. Just keep doing what you're doing. Eventually, she's going to get tired, and eventually, she's going to sit down. That's literally what she did. This was in the beginning of our dating. And he said that was what made me the most attractive, is how I handled that situation, because he didn't even know how to handle that. Eventually, she went and sat her ass down.
But wow. Okay.
But yeah, she was just one of those people. Let me see. Pijo said, very interesting topic. I'm never taking a date to any sports where I DJ at anymore. LOL. Yeah, I mean that could be hard. So for me, like any other woman, one would have had an issue with an ex still coming around. I'm one of those people who don't care, because I have that thought process. Like, if y'all are still sleeping with each other, eventually it's going to come out. I'm going to see. I'm going to pick, women, we pick up vibes. And if she's still coming around and y'all broke up years ago and I'm here, if y'all still wanted each other, I wouldn't be here. That's how I look at that. If y'all wanted each other, then like, why am I here?
And I'm not
y'all just do what y'all do.
I'm not judging any woman for this. I'm literally asking, why would you want him to do anything different, even other than ignore her? Because if we're just dating, I don't even know if I'm gonna be with you or like you next week. So you can do whatever you want to do with her, and unless you mind mine, and that's a different story.
And I'm different.
I'm just like, I don't even care. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you did whatever you did, if you engaged and you did all of that, you felt comfortable enough that maybe you weren't feeling me enough that whatever you did with her, whether you touched her, whether you engaged, that's your business. If you ain't even my man yet, I'm gonna watch what you gonna do. I'm gonna see how you gonna handle this. Cause let me tell y'all, I'm a plot. I'm gonna sit there and be like, that's cute. But when the shoe is on the other foot, I need you to pipe down, shorty. When everybody's coming this way, I need you to chill
Pipe
out.
it down.
Yes, I need you to fizzle on out. I need you not to say nothing. I need you to keep that on the hush.
So I went on a date with this guy. It wasn't no. This wasn't even actually a date. So this made me completely out of place. I'll just be out of place. If I don't like something, I'm gonna speak up on it. We were seeing each other, but nobody knew we were seeing. Went on a couple of dates, right? His we had a mutual friend. The mutual friend's girlfriend, he's probably on here right now. I just saw his name not too long ago. The mutual friend's girlfriend had a birthday party, and both of us were invited to it. But we had already been on like 2 dates prior to that. So we kind of was just like, should we go together? Are we going separate? Because we're in a weird space because now we have to be in the same room. And so he was like, no, you're going as my date. So cool. But I'm driving because, again, I don't really know you that well. I know you, but we're just in a different space. So he was there probably about 30 minutes before I got there. And when I got there, he came outside to get me out of the car. So when we walked in, our mutual friend who had been trying for years to get us to even go on one date saw us walking in together, and he lost it. He was like, what? Y'all are finally blah, blah, blah. He caused such a commotion that everybody saw us standing together. Obviously, y'all see we're together, right? Birthday girl, the DJ says something about the birthday girl come to the stage. If you're a woman, give a lap dance. If you're a man, give some money. And there was this long line of people. You're deciding which one you want to do. It was either or. You could either give a lap dance or give money. I'm just, in my mind, I said woman. So everybody's in line doing what they're doing. He's in line. I'm thinking, oh, cute. He knows them, so he's about to throw some money. This guy that I went on the dates with picked her up out of the seat and was like a stripper. I sat there with a smile because I'm like, I know everybody looking at me. You literally walked me in here. So they know we're together. So everybody just kind of looking at me, and I don't know anybody other than the mutual friend and him. I'm just smiling. You know me. I'm going to smile it off. I burned about 5 houses down in my head. I waited like 2 or 3 songs, and then I texted and I was like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go. So he walks me to my car. Keep in mind, we only went on 2 dates. This is not my man. I was like, if you ever want to see me again, you can never do anything like that in my face. Anything like that in my presence. I did not appreciate that, and I felt completely disrespected. He was like, I'll do you one better. Because he said he used to do that with his shows. Because, again, he's a DJ. He said, I'll do you one better. I will never do that again, period. He was like, I'm probably getting too old to be doing that anyway. And that's how that went. And he wasn't even my man. And I had put some restrictions on. If you want to see me, sir, don't ever act like that in front of me.
I'm gonna tell you,
2 dates in.
I wouldn't have taken it that far with a man. I don't think I would have completely like sexed the man on the floor, but I would have stayed and then danced with other people. Like, that's the kind of person I am. And then I'm like, oh, I'm feeling that. And he be like, what is she doing over there, baby? I can play this game really well.
So you do tit for tat.
What is your sign?
She do tit for tat.
Stop playing with me. I'm not finna act the
I don't want to
What?
do tit for tat.
What's your birthday?
March 31st. It just passed.
Oh, sweet Jesus. No.
Baby, I used to be huge on tit for tat. I don't have the energy. I don't want to do that. I'm going to tell you what I like, what I don't like. And it's up to you to decide what you want to do. You're a whole human being. You can either be with the flow or go on. And you absolutely do what you want to do. Because I don't want to have to gyrate on somebody just to prove that I can do that because you're doing it.
Girl.
And he would have turned around and I would have been already gone.
And see, that's the thing. I wouldn't
Like, he
even
would've
done
I
it
would've
just
been
because
gone.
he did it. I would have done it because I like to dance. I'm like, ooh,
Gotcha. So you're like, oh, cool. So I can just dance too.
Right. That's how I
Gotcha.
literally be thinking. Like, I'm not trying to do. And that gets me in trouble. The fact that I'm so innocent with it, I'm like, I like to dance. I like to shake my. This what we doing?
I am so scared right now.
Together.
KELZ, I am so scared right now.
Why?
Zoe's birthday is March 30th.
Oh, she Aries.
Look at how she put her head
But
down.
you got to think Aries is, guess what that's close to? Pisces.
Yeah, and
we have a lot of similarities. So when I said I used to be, so that is part of a Pisces traits, right? But I'm an evolved Pisces. So certain things like that, I don't do no more. But I have literally, like when I always say, if you cheat on me, I won't leave. I'll just cheat back. That is literally how I used to act. When that man started messing with a married woman, where her man at? Hey, y'all. That used to be me. Now I ain't got time for none of that. I don't want to deal with that. But the old me, yeah.
And see, I'm
Who
not.
your man?
Hey, that was a
Shit.
wild time. Getting
That
those
was-
phone calls was a
listen,
That's when
wild
I almost got my
time.
toe bit off.
That was a wild time,
Mm-mm.
folks.
Even with cheating, I'm not
And that
gonna
was a true
cheat back.
story.
I'm gonna have a conversation. Hey, this what we doing? Okay, let's do it.
That part.
You know,
Now that's probably my only time that I still be tit for tat is on something like that, depending on the relationship. If the relationship is trash everywhere else, then I'm gone.
Mhm.
But if you cheat and everything else is good, and I'm like, dang, like I ain't trying to lose all this stuff because you stupid. Oh, I like such and such. So okay. So now the door is open. You can't tell me when to close mine because you opened it.
Mhm. And see, even with cheating, that comes with an
Sorry.
emotional
Just don't cheat on me.
escape. And so if you cheated, then you don't get the emotional me. You don't get the same me. And that's
Yeah.
what I think for me, the men don't realize, oh, I'm not gonna get the same her. I'm not gonna get the same intimate bedroom her. I'm not gonna get the same
Mhm.
emotional check-in her. And men can't deal with when you completely check out on them.
Yeah.
Like they can't deal with, eggplant appointments and you scheduling the way you want to do it.
Yep.
They can't deal with you managing the schedule. You started this and I'm gonna finish it.
Mhm.
Aries are known for don't start none,
There
won't be none.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna start nothing, but I'm gonna finish that thing. I promise you that, and you're not gonna like how I finish it, but you're not gonna have no say so because it's gonna be done by the time you look at like, ooh, poof, it's happened.
It's done. It is done.
And
Look
they
at
ain't
her
asking
face.
permission either. Girl,
I'm
please.
not reading none of them. Can you see those comments?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna let you read those.
Uh-oh.
Tig, shut up.
Right, he loud.
He
You
real
loud,
loud.
sir.
You realize like you know stuff you ain't supposed to know. I've
Right.
always posted, if you remember this person, shut up.
Shut your mouth. So if you are just tuned in, we are talking about, is it hard to date somebody that is extremely attractive or popular? And we had conflicting views on that, as if we were dating somebody else that is attractive or popular. If you're attractive, then it is what it is with me. If you're popular, I need boundary set because I'm very territorial. If I licked you, you're mine. You belong to me. So that's how I move. Hi.
Maybe look,
That's
I'm
the
like, maybe
Pisces
I
in
should
me.
be more territorial. I'm like,
No,
whatever you gonna do, you
whatever
gonna do,
works for
sir.
you. Because some men don't like that. Some men like the free spirited, you do you, I do me type thing. It's just, I'm not. I don't play that. I don't play them games.
They don't play them either until you start doing it. That's what I noticed.
I've been real lucky, Shody. I ain't really had to deal with that jealousy type crap like that. I've been real lucky. I even had like some of my husband's exes, like more than one of my husband's exes were at my baby shower. Like that type of deal. So I don't know. I haven't, and that's why Tig is like 2008, because I know exactly what he's talking about. But that was different, Tig. I used to do his hair.
Oh,
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
He said,
You
that's
know,
my
Tig,
bandmate. He said, hey,
Yes,
chocolate.
Yeah, me and
Tig
Tig
know
go
everybody.
back.
Tig popular himself.
Yes, forever to be a man. He know. He
Yeah,
understand what it is. He
exactly.
was a man with me. He get it.
Exactly.
You already know, Shawty. You get it.
And that's why I'm laughing too, because I'm
Like
like,
in circles around these fools. They saying like, "What? I move the way I move because you move the way you move,
You
and I
just
don't have to tell
watch.
you about my movement."
Right. You watch.
So
You
there
just
was a
watch.
guy that I was dating, and he worked closely with a location that I worked at. And he, like, when I say, I used to always check in with him, like, are you good? Like, was that too much? He's like, man, do what you do. Like, leave me alone. Go work. Go do what you do. He never tripped on anything I did, never tripped on anything I said. And he would always be like, I know KELZ outside of work. So he knows, he was like, I know this is work, KELZ. I don't care about any of that stuff. And sometimes he would hype it up to get people to buy more drinks. And then after that, that's that. So I would have to deal with somebody that feels that kind of way, because I'm a person that does set boundaries.
Right.
I don't give my number out to customers. I don't care how close we are. If it's a female, yeah, but I don't give my number out to male customers. And even if I'm not in a relationship, I don't mind saying I'm kind of seeing somebody, because I want to keep that line there.
Yeah.
But I am going to be flirty, because that's just my nature.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm in a relationship, all that goes. I tell people all the time, the person you know now is not going to be the same person you know when I'm in a relationship. Because I'm like, my man, my man, my man. You can't touch me. You can't say crazy stuff to me. It's totally different. I'm so sweet and fun spirited and flirty and all this stuff because I'm single. and I'm just navigating and living my life. But in a relationship, I am not the same KELZ. She got quiet. You the same all the way around.
It's see when I'm thinking more specifically like business dealings and people that I've had encounters with before, and I don't even mean sexual, just in the business realm, and thinking about who I'm dating and trying to make sure that I navigate that.
Mhm.
Like you ain't gotta necessarily slap me on my behind to prove that yours, but like if I'm in a space with if I'm in a space, no shade, just tea. But if I'm in a space with you and you're with me, I'm gonna make you feel like you're with me. I'm singing. I'm gonna sing to you. I'm gonna touch you. I'm not gonna go walk off to this random man over here and you sitting here. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm gonna do. But I can't always control how he's gonna be, right? And so in that regard, in the business sector, when you're dealing with people like that who may be attracted to you, things kind of get questionable. And I've had to work on, I watch people. I'm gonna let you have enough rope to hang yourself. So the person I'm with might be like, you should have stopped it at time number 1. I'm gonna wait till you get to time number 5, and then I'm gonna like tick tick boom, because now I have evidence. Oh, I'm telling my secret. I have evidence now. Now I'm like, this is what happened. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And so then when you really want to act out because you're not getting what you want, because typically is that they want you, and you do or say some foul stuff. Oh, baby, let's come with it, because you've been out of pocket the last 6 times. But I let you have a pass because I'm trying to reserve the business relationship, and I'm also trying to be smart about it. And even with that, not put my man too much in it, because I don't want him to feel like he got to be coming like rah rah. So I'm like, you can handle this, but then it's never successful. Never successful.
And I'm trying to think now, like, what's the good balance when, for instance, because shout out to Monique, about to start hosting karaoke.
Yes.
So you're about to be in a completely, I'm just going to tell you that now. You're going to be in a completely different realm of attention. It can be difficult trying to navigate how far you go with customers, because you want to make them feel appreciated. You want to make sure that they're having a great time and you're personable without making them want you. And sometimes, and I'll say nine times out of 10 in my position, they feel like they have a chance. And it may be how far I go with my interactions with them. So when they're a customer, of course, like if you're in entertainment, if you are a bartender, a server, even not even entertainer, let's say you go to a regular restaurant and you're a server, you want to make sure you have this relationship with the customer. 1, so you can get a great tip. 2, so they can come back so that you can get another great tip. When you are in our line of work in 2025, you don't have a promoter versus a host. That is the same person. So you got to make sure that you get these people to come out. And if they're coming out, you got to make sure they have such a great time that they want to come back, because you need the bodies to keep coming back. So you want to make sure they feel loved and they feel appreciated and they feel like they're the only one. But then you don't know what they're thinking. Especially if you are an attractive person and they know you're single, then they're like, oh, she's singing to me. When you're like, I'm singing to a customer, or I'm being nice to a customer, or I'm trying to make sure I ask for your social media so that I can tag you for when next week comes, in case you forgot. Now I got your social media and I can remind you to come back, where you're thinking, oh, she asked for my social media, she must like me. So it's kind of hard to try to balance the two, especially if you're in a relationship and you're in nightlife versus any other type of, I'm not gonna say any other, because you could be an athlete and have that same struggle. So if you're a person that has to consistently deal with the opposite sex, whatever that job title is or field that you're in, when you got to deal with the opposite sex, it's the balance of being popular and how far you go in relationships to make sure your person feels comfortable. Because the DJ that I said, I didn't feel, even though he got all the attention, he always made me feel like I was the only woman in the whole entire world. So I never cared that all his exes would be there, or all of his younger women than me, because he looks young. that these women are all over him. It's one lady, he kept trying to like, he was cool with it at first, and then she started rubbing his bald head, and I went over there and I said, hey, I said, this one's mine. Go find it. She was like, oh girl, he fine. And she high-fived me and she rolled right on. That turned him on too, because normally I'm just sit back and laugh and watch. But you touch him, I'm in fight mode. Cause like I said, I'm territorial. I'm sweetie, this one's mine. Yeah, this one's mine.
Look, that's what Tig was talking about in 2008.
I can read it?
Oh,
wow. Oh, no, not this. What you just said.
That's what you did.
That is so true. You have to entertain. Like I had a situation recently. It was 3 females. 4 females and 3 males in one establishment in one night. This woman walked up to the guy that I was with and said, let me have her and go deal with the young girls. I'm like, did she just say that to... I was sitting there like, hold on.
He said that to him about you?
She said that to him about me. I'm like,
I get so many females.
That's crazy. I'm looking at her like, baby, that's crazy. It was almost appalling. I'm like, how are you going to come tell this grown man to go deal with these young girls and let you have me? Then there was another girl that walked up and she was like gyrating, and we dancing and we just having a great time. She gives me her wallet and her phone, like, girl, take your stuff back. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm sitting there like, is it me? And I'm like, I know it's me, but even for myself, having to balance those moments and stop and be like, what exactly is happening here in this moment? How does the person I'm with feel? It's a delicate balance.
It is.
I talked to, I don't know if you're CEO Self Coach, and I talked to Juice. Juice is the wife, Self is the husband. And she was like, my husband sat me down and talked to me about what this industry was going to involve and if I was going to be okay with that. That's a real conversation that needs to be had if you're an entertainer, if you're in the entertainment industry, period. These types of things are going to happen. How are we going to navigate them? I'm going to let you hold me accountable in certain areas when certain things come up. Are you going to be able to handle this and that? Let me know how you felt about this and that. If I can do something about it, great. But entertaining, you got to entertain. Now, I'm not saying entertain after that and entertain at the hotel and Holiday Inn. That's not what I'm saying. But even making eye contact with a guy as I'm gyrating my hips, that's gonna send you into something. If it ain't you, that's crazy to me, because it's crazy work. Because you have a whole audience, and if I'm performing, like, it's gonna happen. And on top of that, I'm not sticks and bone, you know what I'm saying? I'm curvaceous. So you come through curvaceous, you singing, it's all melodic. They see, you're seemingly put together. And I've seen the looks in people's eyes and the attraction. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And it's like, what do you do with all that? It's a delicate balance, whether you're the person that's popular or you're the person that's dating the person that's popular. I feel for everybody.
And then I didn't even think about that part too, because I get just as many females after me as I do men. And this one girl used to come all the time. And again, I'm very passive aggressive. I'm never going to be like, I don't like you, get out my face. But I would be like, no, I'm kind of seeing somebody. Instead of saying I am heterosexual, I don't like women, because in my mind, I don't want to scare her off if she don't come back.
Right.
So I'd be like, no, I'm kind of seeing somebody. And so one day she was like, we could just go to lunch, blah, blah, blah. Like nothing like friendship, because you're cool. Like when she come out, we'll do songs together, all this stuff. And so one day she just was like, look, I like you. And I was like, shit.
You're not getting
I knew it was going to get to that. So I was like, no, I am seeing somebody, and it's a guy. And she was like, you don't like females? I was like, no, I don't like females. And so she was like, dang. She was like, so she came about 2 more times. That last time that she came, because she ended up stopped coming, which I figured was going to happen. And I said the guy that I was kind of seeing that was there. She was like, I just want to pay some bills. And so she was like, is he even paying your bills? I was like, actually, he does. He pays my mortgage. And she was like, well, what is it he paying? And so she was like, well, who is it? So I finally just pointed him out. She was like, he cool as hell. I love him. Blah, 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 blah. I went to the bathroom. When I came back, they were talking. I just walked the other way. Passive aggressive KELZ. I ain't trying to get in this conversation. When we closed, I asked him, I said, what did she say? He said, she came to me and was like, what bills don't you pay? Because she'll take over whatever I don't pay. I said, what did you say? He was like, I got it. He said, bitch, I'm going to make me punch her in the face.
Yeah.
But yeah, they be aggressive like that.
They will walk up to you like, you ain't got to worry about nothing. I'm like, and I understand, sis, and I appreciate your tenacity. I mean, they offering trips to Africa, this and that. And I'm sitting there like, what is this about? Girl.
So yeah, get ready, sis. Because The attention you get with being a musician when you're hosting and you're like personable and you're in these people's personal space, because it's one thing you're on stage and everybody's having to sit and watch you versus now you got to interact with these people. Now you got to keep in contact with these people so that they keep coming back. You about to be in a completely different realm because somebody is gonna eventually feel like, I come all the time. She's so fun, and you sing and you dance and you have a good time. I can get her. I got a chance. She's so cool with me. We so cool. We got so much in common. Now they follow you on social media and they're watching your whole life, and it changes. It changes a lot. So you have to learn the balance. Not you specifically, but I'm just saying in general.
You've always been biscuit thick.
you just have to learn the balance of and know your partner.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it, and like I said before, I couldn't get in a relationship with somebody that is timid of what I do now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be hosting my whole life.
Mm.
But if you have an issue with me hosting now, then when I get into the different realms that I have planned for my 2025, that might be an issue for you. So that's just one realm. That's just me hosting in local restaurants right now. What about when I start traveling and I get hosting gigs and they're booking me and I got to stay overnight in a hotel somewhere? How are you going to feel about me being gone? Pijo said, the sugar mamas out here offering to pay bills too, and they're younger.
They are. Correct.
The younger men and the younger women are making way more money. They're more popular these days because they're sitting behind computers.
Yep.
And they're socialites, and they're making money off of the platforms. Tori came over yesterday, and we had to meet my daughter's boyfriend and his mom. So we were just talking about like making money off of social media. And he told me about a chick that he went on a couple dates with, and she showed receipts. She was showing on TikTok, she was making like $3,000, $3,000 to $4,000 a month off of TikTok alone. And it was business content. She would go online every day and talk about different realms of the business that she was in. So yeah, wow. That's how she make a living. And I think she had over 1 million followers. So if they're out somewhere, he was going to have to deal with being in a relationship with somebody that was popular, and she may not be able to change certain things because of how much she was making. $3,000-$4,000 a month, and you ain't got to never leave your house, and all of this is on your device.
Ooh, we see that's the technology even changes the interaction and the dating scape and all of that. It's all these other factors that you have to think about. Like when you were talking just now, I was even thinking about how you mentioned the hosting and how that would be different than me being on stage. But even with that, dating an older man, dating men in their 30s and 40s as well, it's also the appeal, whatever the appeal is for them. If they have a foot fetish, if they like the breast, if they like it's anything about you that they like, they're going to gravitate toward, regardless of whether you're in a relationship or not. And what I was going to say to some of your points earlier was they don't even see you dating or being in a relationship as a hurdle because you ain't married yet. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them like, okay, so I still got a chance.
Right.
And not judging their thinking, but they still feel like, okay, so what that means?
They still feel like they got a chance. It's difficult sometimes. And then you like have to learn what certain people are there for.
Oof.
The dating part. So you're already with somebody. So me being single, I have to navigate, is this person coming because they're a customer? Or is this person coming because they have an interest in me on a personal level? Now I got to try to decipher why you're here and what is it that you want from me. That's the hard part of going into industry while you're single, because you don't know. You don't know what people's intentions are. You don't know if I don't like to call anybody a fan, but someone that is, I'll just say lustful maybe. They're lustful over you versus if there was a regular person walking down the street.
Lustful and stalkerish. I've been there.
I can post certain things, and I think people think of me differently. Like somebody can make a post saying, you're not a real woman if you don't know how to cook. And I'll come on there and I'll be like, oh gosh, I'm not a real woman because I don't know how to cook. They be like, you different, KELZ, because you do X, Y. No. You can't put me to the side because of who you think I am. If you feel like a woman isn't a woman because she can't cook, then you don't consider me to be a woman. Stand on it. it don't matter what it is. If somebody says something negative about a female and I have that trait and I say something, they'll make an excuse for it. Even if it's a guy that's trying to date me, he's going to make an excuse for something that he probably wouldn't make an excuse for because it's me. So then there's like, are you changing because of who you thought,
this perception and this image of me instead of who I actually am?
And is that going to change once you get to know me?
That part.
Because now you're settled in. Now I'm just regular KELZ because you see me when I ain't have a wig on, or I'm in a bad mood, or I'm sleepy, or like you've seen me in a light that isn't edited and uploaded to social media. You see me in a different light.
Yep.
Are you still gonna like me the same as you did when you saw this grand KELZ that you saw?
Yeah.
So those are things that I have to try to navigate from. They want them way.
What is that?
That's just some crazy stuff. Look, if y'all want to comment, make sure you go onto the YouTube channel, Hits 92.3. You can see me and Monique Curry in studio. Click on the live and look for the L.I.C.K show, and we are live in studio. We are currently talking about, is it difficult to date somebody extremely attractive or popular? And we're just navigating through.
Girl, I'm still navigating. I'm over here. There's so many thoughts going on in my head. I'm just like, I just think about my interactions recently, and it's.
So do you feel like the person you're with is secure in how you move, who's around, and yeah, I'll just leave it there.
Honestly, not trying to gas him up. I believe he's secure.
Okay.
Because of how I operate. And he often tells me it's not because I think you're going to do something, because, I've watched you and I've looked at your character enough to know that you're going to be 100. He's like, it's just the other people that I'm concerned about. And especially if it's, someone that I may have dated, or, what I'm saying, and dated don't even mean had sex with, just dated, just had some interaction with, just have had some closeness and spent some time together, that then becomes a concern. However, I like to respect his viewpoint on it because I understand that he's a man and that, I am not. So I'm like, that don't mean I just cut off everybody, that I've, ever dated or, had some great, times with, as far as like going out, hanging out, whatever it is. That don't mean I just cut you off. We can still keep it, cordial and, be friendly. But, he's seen some things, unfortunately, I'm just going to be transparent. He's seen some things and experienced some things that give him pause surrounding people that have been interested in me. And I think I told you at one time about where two of them were in the same space and they approached the table. And one of them approached me and ran his hand down the front of while he's sitting there, and he had to grab his hand. I'm like, we are not doing this in public. My best friend is sitting there. I'm like, yo, this, and immediately I start shutting down. It felt like doors are closing in my head, because I know you did not walk over here and run your hand down the front of with this man sitting here. And then the other one comes up to the table trying to shake hands, knowing I don't mess with you because we had some business dealings and it didn't go right.
Like that one.
But you keep coming around. Came to the birthday gathering over the weekend. I went, girl,
you tell me that?
And you're walking around. I'm like, but why are you here walking around? I don't with you. Why are you here?
And that was those disrespectful men.
Crazy work. And I'm like, yo, this is, at that point, it became not funny anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's where I felt like I needed protection, because if you're going to show up, my thing is, have the audacity to touch me in front of a man I'm with. You have some real kahunas, okay?
And in that, so I am a passive aggressive person, but that's where the aggressive part will come out, because I'm even gonna say this: if I see my man jump in a fight, I'm jumping in too. You're gonna have to pull me out the way. And it could be all men fighting. In my mind, I think I could jump in that too. So you touch me and my man got to get involved, I'm not gonna stop him. I'm not gonna say we're in public, we gotta worry about our brand. Get him.
And he had to be like,
if you want to knock his head off, I'm on your back doing too.
Yes.
This man about to get jumped.
So I'm a two-piece. How you gonna two-piece the dude I'm with when you were out of order?
Ain't
I'm
no
like, that is
way.
so confusing. And it's two of them. I promise, I've been out. and I was with someone who was protecting me at the time, and he was like, I don't know what you have on you, but it's like people just come from and they just want to do things and they want to touch and they want to be around, they run up against. Why do you have to cross? Don't touch me. Don't come in my sphere. Just stay over there, wave, smile. Let's be
No, that's when you need to knock that 5 chance down to 2.
Listen, in that part.
Maybe like he said that 1.
Yes, hello.
Maybe that
I'm
1. Like, hey.
And a lot of people think, oh, I know this is the trend on the internet. You must be. Some of the people who have crossed the line the fastest, I've never had a relationship with, and literally never been on a date with.
Damn.
And the one that went down the front, I went on 2 dates with him. Why are you behaving like this?
Right.
Sir? Why?
Now, did he touch you on a date? Like, what made him feel comfortable to do that? He'd never done that before. Was he drinking?
It was the. See, I'm trying not.
Because I'm like,
specific, but it was the drinking. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, the drinking.
At one point, we had a business meeting at the house. He got out of control. Girl tried to take a tour. That's one tried to take a tour of my house without my permission. Had the video camera out. Yes. And so then when I called him and said, "Hey, you tried to take a tour of my house and you went downstairs instead of going out the front door," and the bartender we both know knows. He was like, "Yeah." When he said, "Yeah," I didn't know if I was ever gonna be invited back. So that was your reasoning for taking a tour of my baby.
Oh, wow.
I was like, you know what?
See, no.
I am unable to can. Okay, like where do we do that at? And girl, when he came up to the table, I wrote a song for you. I'm like, I don't even think I want to work with you anymore because you're acting very random and you're threatening the 2-piece to do what I'm sitting here with.
That's crazy.
Girl, I was like, I'm 2-piece. I'm like, oh, okay.
This is after he touched you?
Yes. I was like,
see,
after his hand got grabbed and everything.
Like, we can't be cool. If you can't respect my man, we can't be cool. And I'll go even further. Like, my ex-husband, my family did not like, well, I'm going to say all of them. My parents, my dad, did not like this man, right? He thought he was a piece of crap. That's my piece of crap.
Yeah.
You don't accept my piece of crap, then you don't accept me.
Right.
And I stopped talking to my dad. My husband comes before you. So, and I'm always going to be like that.
Yeah.
Piece of crap or not, that's my piece of crap.
Yeah.
When I get home, throw you out with the trash. But in front of everybody else, don't play with me about my man in front of me.
And this the same one that's at the table when you were there complaining about taking out trash cans and stuff. You don't get on somewhere. Get your life.
Yeah, don't.
You had to come here and 2-piece of somebody and you can't even take the trash can from the front of the garage to the sidewalk.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Girl, please. Ooh, I was like, baby. No.
So the same guy that I said that was working with one of the places that I worked at, he had to pass because I worked everywhere in the vicinity of my house. So I didn't work too far from where I live. So this person had to pass my house to get home. One night it was raining outside. It was a Tuesday. My trash comes like 6:00 on Wednesday mornings. And I was like, dang it, it's raining outside and I got to take this trash to the top of the hill. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, it's at my garage and I have to take it to the top because they come at like 6:00 in the morning. I'm not going to remember after it starts raining to take it up there. He was like, don't worry about it. I'll come move it. What? Okay, cool. So he did that. And he was like, what did he say? You don't have to worry about taking that. He was like, I'll take it out next week. So he took it out when I got home one night on a Tuesday. It was already taken to the top of the hill. It was another night, another Tuesday where it wasn't taken up. And I was like, I'm about to take the trash. Don't worry about, coming by tonight. And he was like, don't tell me how to do my job. He was like, I'm still at work right now. When I get off, I'm going to come move the trash. And when I say I never had to worry about that trash, and it wasn't like he took the trash to the top of the hill and then came in the house and then we do what we do. He literally took the trash to the top of the hill and then he went home. So, and they closed at 2:00 in the morning. So sometime between 3 and 3:30, because I'm sure they had to do all the cleaning and all that, he would stop by my house, take the trash from the garage and take it to the top of the hill. So we had, was it the housewarming at your house? What was it?
We had a kickback.
Kickback at her house. It was a couple of guys there. And we asked them the question, and most of them was like, hell no, I ain't doing that. And I'm like, even if you have to pass, this is somebody you sleeping with. Even if you have to pass their house already to go home, they're like, no. Okay.
But then you want the goods. You want to be all up in my house. You want me to cook for you. You want me to do all these things. You can't take no trash. I'm going to put you in the trash. How
I'm gonna
about
put
that,
you in the
sir?
trash.
You are trash. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
You
And
ain't
he
gonna-
did that every single week. Yeah. And I never asked him to do it. And that's just something he wanted to do. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yo, the Atlanta scene with the crazies, bro. It's crazy out here, y'all. And I'm not saying just feel sorry for women, because I'm sure men experience some loony stuff too.
Absolutely.
I don't want nobody to think just because I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, because I'm a woman, that I don't understand it. On the flip side, when you said something about the crazy girl dancing in front of DJ, I'm like, oh, I know those. Like, it's not like
Yeah.
we're trying to be one-sided, but we often speak from the side that we know that y'all want us to speak from, since y'all want us to be in our feminine. And because we're feminine, we're speaking from that perspective. This is wild. For me, it's almost the entitlement and the expectation that gets me about people. Like, even if I'm seeing them in an environment where I'm dealing with them, if you start to come at me and I feel like you've come at with me with an air of entitlement and expectation, I'm not gonna wanna, you know what I'm saying? And my vibe gonna be off. I'm like, because I'm gonna feel like you already gonna cross a boundary, and I have reasons to believe that based off of
You've
what
already
I've been
shown
doing.
me. Yeah.
He said them dudes was sassy. Hey,
The dudes, yeah.
you better
They
say
were.
it.
What you just said just made me think of something when he was like, men deal with it too. The same DJ that I was talking about. Again, he was very popular. I ain't gonna lie, he done got around. God forbid this man. Anyway, he had a chick that would try to break up relationships. That he told me about this before.
I know those.
She never really tried to come at me in that kind of way. Somebody did text me from an unknown number and was like, "You think he's the only one? You think you're the only one he's taking on trips and stuff?" And my response was, "Then go on your trips. Why are you worried about my trips? Y'all take
Mind
y'all
your business,
trips.
girl.
I'm gonna take my trips." And she never said
Mind your
anything else to me
business.
after that. So I guess she felt like, "Oh, I can't run her off. I already know who the chick is." 6 months after we broke up, I'm out doing my own thing, and this girl sends screenshots of conversations saying that they had this conversation, they did this, blah 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 blah. And she's like giving me these dates and times. We weren't even in Georgia. We were on a trip. So I knew she was lying. But I just played into it and I was like, I can't believe he blah blah blah. So I let her say all this stuff. And I was like, by the way, we broke up 6 months ago.
Oh my God. Carol.
So women will lie. So
Yeah,
sometimes when a guy is
yeah.
popular, even if he's not popular, it might just have some crazy women that are around. But like I said, he had the ex that always wanted to come around. She was really good friends with the mom. I had a conversation with the mom. She was like, she helps out from time to time. They go shopping together. So she was like, I am invested in getting to know you because you are who my son chose to marry. But I do have a relationship with her that I don't want to cut. And so I was like, I'm not asking you to cut your relationship. Just if I made a joke. If I'm around, you better pay me way more attention than you pay her. And she was like, I understand where you're coming from. He was pissed though, because he wanted that relationship to end. He wanted her to stop talking to her, but that was their thing. So you got some of those women that just won't let go. And
you have crazy ones that won't let go, but they also are going to ride for the guy. So I had a situation where a guy, he disappeared. He goes to end a relationship, but because you left your Apple Watch, I could see your location and I could see the numbers you calling. So I called the girl. I'm like, hey, this is my government name. I know he there with you, and I see what he texting you, baby. You can have him, because he didn't even have the consideration that he has for you, for me. And I know he jumping off on you. You to jump off, so y'all could jump off together, girl. She was like, "You real bold, sis, baby. I'm bold and I'm done. I don't have no." PJ was crazy. I'm bold and I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna be fighting over no man who want to be in the street. Bye, bro.
Right.
And then after I called the girl, he come back. Don't come back. Stay with her. Why
your watch is in the mailbox. You can come get it out the mailbox.
Go away now.
Pijo said he loved that we're dressed alike in our Easter dresses.
Pijo,
I'm sick of you.
you.
All right, so we gotta wrap this up. But the two conversations that we had earlier was, you're in your 40s and you decide you want to have another child, and we went through the whole statistics of getting pregnant in your 40s versus 30s versus 20s, freezing your eggs, and would you have rather have your child younger or older. And then we moved into the conversation with Monique Curry, and we talked about, is it difficult to date somebody extremely popular or attractive. So tell everybody where to find you, girl.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at I am Monique Curry, and on Facebook at The Real Monique Curry. That's MoniqueCurry.
Period. All right. So tonight I will be at Belly ATL. This will be my second week, and we are doing what's called Beauties and Bingo. We're doing music bingo, and we're making it a ladies' night. When I say this place is so beautiful, so it is on. Is it on Peachtree? It's on Peachtree Street. It's so hard for me to say that fast. It's on Peachtree Street. I'm there every Friday from 8 to 11 p.m. We'll be playing music bingo, singing, dancing, line dancing, all of the great things that I just love to do while I'm out. So that's on Friday night. But yeah, we have our flagship show that's on Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. There's no shows tonight. So are we looking to fill Friday at all? We want, so what's, tell me the times. So I'm not saying the wrong times. Cause I know I want to make sure, I might change what she's about to say. Cause I need her Friday nights to always be available. She need to be outside.
That's what I was going to say. As long as I can be outside Friday night. I mean, about 3-4 o'clock.
3-4 o'clock. So we are looking for shows. There's no show after this show right now, currently. We may have a 5 o'clock, but it's not set in stone. We're still working that out. So Friday, we do have a couple of hours available, and we are still looking to fill Sundays. We've had conversations. Nothing's locked in. And as I tell everybody, first come, first serve, no matter who you are. If somebody wants the slot that you didn't pay for, they're going to get it. All right. So make sure y'all follow the radio station. Hits 92.3 on all social media platforms. Y'all, I need y'all to follow on TikTok. We need to get to 1,000 so that we can go live on TikTok as well. So I know all of y'all are always on TikTok. I be forgetting about TikTok. I got old, child. But make sure you follow on TikTok. We want to get to 1,000 hopefully by, I'm gonna say by Friday. We're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna start doing some challenges to get that up. And that's what we're going to do. Make sure you follow me, The Real Who is KELZ, on all social media platforms, so you can find out where I'm at every night of the week. And we are going to go out to Daniqua's song, Chances. Make sure you follow her on all social media platforms. Daniqua, this your song, girl. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Peace.
Oh, yeah. It feels so good to be me. Don't need no validation from nobody. Never been afraid to stand alone. Ain't like I ain't been there before. With every opportunity there's open. And in this life I just want so much more. See, you don't have to be afraid to try. I've been a dreamer for most of my life. Ooh, I've been on my grind. My faith is how I survive in the midst of everything. My testimony I proclaim.
Every day is a new choice. We make our beds and we lie in them. Who do you want to lay down with? Choose wisely. Met you on Friday, picked you up on Saturday. Sunday night you calling me over and over and over again, telling me that you're ready to rock me steady, rock steady. I got you so addicted. I should've never let you taste my love, my love. Damn right, I wanna see you again, but I'm not ready for no love affair. Still you ask me what is happening when I told you that my heart wasn't there. I handle business on the weekday, but you can have me on the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you wanna be my weekend lover, it's gonna be hard to leave. Take it from me, from me, from me. Take it from me, from me, from me. If you wanna be my weekend lover, it's gonna be hard to leave. Take it from me, from me, from me. Gonna be hard. Take it from me, from me, from me. Oh. Damn right, I wanna see you again, but I'm not ready for no love affair. And still you ask me what is happening, when I told you that my heart wasn't there. I handle business on the weekday, but you can have me on the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you wanna be my weekend lover, it's gonna be hard to wait. Take it from me, baby. Take it from me, take it from me, baby. If you wanna be my weekend lover, it's gonna be hard to leave. Don't wanna leave you alone. From me, from me. Take it from me, from me, from me. Oh.
Decatur, Lithonia, Conyers, Covington, McDonough, and all surrounding areas. Something Special Bar and Lounge presents Music Bingo and Karaoke. That's right, you heard me. Music Bingo and Karaoke every Wednesday at Something Special Bar and Lounge. On the 1 and 2s, we got DJ P-Joe. Not to mention, we got the host with the most, KELZ. We got drink specials, plus the full kitchen, seafood dip, salmon bites, sweet heat wings, jerk chicken egg roll. From 5 to 7 is our happy hour. Mix and match, 2 items. Looking for good vibes, delicious drinks, delicious food. Something Special Bar and Lounge, 1377 Old McDonough Highway, Conyers, Georgia. The best spot on the east side. Express lunch on the go. Not to mention now open for lunch from 11 to 3 Monday through Friday. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Something Special Bar and Lounge.